How are you doing, YouTube family? All right, today we're gonna get you familiar with the 2JZ-GTE engine. It's a beautiful day today in Colorado. Fall's kicking off to a great start. Got those great views. Got that American flag waving. And we got the Supra ready for us to go in and check it out. All right, guys, I think this is gonna be a fun video. I'm gonna help you be familiar with the 2JZ-GTE engine. I think it's a really neat idea of a video. You usually see these engines online or at a car meet or something like that. But I'm gonna break down just the components and kind of help you, your way around this engine. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we know that the 2JZ is a cast iron bottom end aluminum head. It's got two turbos. It's running on this very intricate sequential system. That's a lot of vacuum lines, but we'll get into that. And it's an inline 6, and that means it's in line with the car. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna work from right to left. All right, we know what this is. This is a battery. And yes, people, I'm using my red straw. In the last video, you used red straw. Everybody went up on arms with it. But hey, it's gonna help you follow along with me. So we've got the battery. We've got the windshield washer fluid. Inside here is your fuses and relays. You've got your fuses, you've got your relays. Over here, you have your power steering fluid reservoir. These little black boxes consist of electronics for your ignition and other miscellaneous electronics. Right here is your power booster. Here is your brake fluid reservoir. Over here, of course, your lines coming in through. All right, let's jump into, remember, a lot of these cars have these components, but I'm gonna show you how they are in a Supra and in 2JZ-GTE engine bay. Here's your intake manifold. All right, this throttle body cable is for your gas pedal, and this one is for your cruise control. Fun fact, a lot of you guys might not know, but these are becoming to be extinct. A lot of them are drive-by-wire. All right, back here in your 2JZ-GTE intake manifold, you see this whole area? This is for your EGR system. This is for your gas recirculation that goes in number 6 cylinder. A lot of people say delete it, a lot of people say don't delete it. It's very confusing. But anyways, all of this has to do with regulating for emissions, and if one of these things goes out, it's going to cause a lot of issues, as I am experienced with that a few days ago. So anyways, these things are operated by vacuum hoses. This little sensor right here, we'll be talking a lot about that. This is a Vcc sensor. It uses vacuum and an electrical signal to open up and close, and it ultimately acts like a switch, which it is, but it acts both as a mechanical analog switch. So we'll continue on. All right. The famous 2JZ-GTE engine look. So this cover right here comes off. There's these little Allen key bolts that come off. And inside there is going to be your ignition coils, and you can have access to your spark plugs. Now, what you'll see in a lot of cool cars, I mean my car's cool, but I'm saying a lot of really modified cars or just people who want to do this, is they'll switch this out to like a really cool billet look. They'll have like a custom name or a custom statement or whatever. I've seen some really cool things, but this is really neat. It kind of gives it a good look. I like the design. They've kind of put a little bit of emphasis on the engineering. These are little vents, to help it out. All right. Radiator upper hose, fan shroud, and let's talk about the intake. Now, a lot of people say that the OEM factory intake is an excellent engineering design. It works for maximum performance and it's really good. I kind of agree with them because, I mean, if you look right here, it's kind of like a, it's got that kind of ramp style. I like that it's, people say it's not ramp style, but I like where the port is positioned, opening for the intake, air intake. It goes through here and it comes through here, and this is where your air filter is housed at. Boop. And yes, people, that is a K&N air filter, and that alone right there has put me at least to, I had about 380 horsepower. Now I have about 790 horsepower. It's crazy. And then the sticker, I lost the sticker, unfortunately. That would have put me about 1,000, but I don't think I could have handled that much power anyway, so no need to cry over spilled milk. Anyways, so the air comes through here, goes to the air filter, gets clean. Some people in boggleheads will say it doesn't get really clean with K&N. But anyways, comes back in, and then right here underneath this black hose is going to be your mass airflow system, and then it's going to come through here. It's going to, depending on how the system is set up and your RPMs and everything, the ECU, it's going to distribute the air to whatever turbocharger it is. So it could go right or it could go left. We'll get into that later. Right here is your blow-off valve. Here is another little relay box where you could, little relays are housed. I almost felt like a real estate agent. It's like, here is your relay box. Here you could house extra little material. No, this is already got its own purpose. You have your cruise control area, ABS, and here is your charcoal canister for emission stuff. Yes, more emission stuff. All right, so let's talk about the rat's nest. That's what a lot of people call it when you have a lot of vacuum stuff and a lot of crazy stuff that's going on. Well, believe it or not, most of this turbo system works on vacuums, and these vacuums are pretty much guided. Think about a big highway with like you can enter, you can't enter, like a barrier. Well, ultimately, what channels the vacuum is these little sensors, these Vcc sensors, and what happens is that the vacuum goes in one way, and the sensor, when it's closed, doesn't allow the vacuum to go out the other port. When the electronic signal comes through and allows the vacuum to continue on, the vacuum goes through another channel and then ultimately opens up another port, causing so the vacuum works with the electronic signal to turn on or turn off things to open up gateways. And the reason why that could be problematic is, let's say you have all this, you've got your two turbos, you've got everything's working fine, but you got one sensor that's bad. Believe it or not, this happened to me. This one sensor right here, or this little solenoid controller, whatever you want to call it, valve, let's call it valve, electronic valve. This electronic valve went bad, so number 2 turbo didn't kick on. That's pretty much what could happen. So the cool thing is that there's a lot of information online where you could research it, and you could ultimately know how to check the resistance and how to troubleshoot it. Because with the age of these cars, you're going to run into issues like that. It's normal wear and tear, and that's it. So anyways, so the air comes through here, it gets channeled depending, like we said, depending on what position you are in the drive, or the RPMs and such, whatever factors you want. These sensors open up or route the vacuum, spool up the turbos, allow the turbos to open up wastegate, such and such. So I'm not going to go into how a turbo works, because that's not what this video is, but I just kind of want to give a brief summary of how it correlates with this particular system. So blow-off valve, vacuum lines, you have your channels, you have your charge pipes, and you have cold pipe, your hot pipe, and then you have back here, it's where it helps it pre-spool. Of course, it's electronically controlled, and then your sensors and your hoses. All right, so back here, guys, not unfortunately, but at this time the technology wasn't developed yet, so you just can't plug in. You can't plug in your Cobb access port or your Honda, like and just see what's going on. You actually have to. This is your diagnostics port, and you actually have to, plug the little wires in and then go count blinking lights to find out what's wrong with your car. But you know what? It works. I've tried it, so it's a little bit archaic, but it still works. So, anyways. And we're pretty much down to that. So I hope that video helped you understand a little bit, to be a little bit more familiar with the 2JZ-GTE. And we always want to thank our viewers and subscribers. And you guys are the best. I love the comments, the positive comments. There's always those negative comments, but hey, you know what I mean? That keeps me going. It's like fuels to the fire. Not saying give me negative comments, but I'm not going to stop, because I love cars and I love sharing it with people. Anyways, have a great day, and thanks for watching.